Welcome everybody to the Genesis Mindset. So pDAI to half a cent, 0.05. Is that the direction that it's going? What is happening with pDAI in the Atropa ecosystem? Where is the liquidity flowing? So as always, I'm analyzing the Atropa ecosystem liquidity flows and how it appears to all be flowing into pDAI. This is what I've discovered today. But then where is it going now? So if it's all flowing into pDAI, which I'm going to show you, then why is pDAI going down? And I think I found the answer. And therefore, another key piece of the puzzle of my analysis of liquidity flows, which can help us anticipate when this next move might be, and basically how this is going to affect pump tires. So finally, also taking a very quick look at XUSD front ends and updates and some excellent LP positions. So also I have deliberately chosen to put Meditator Steve on the thumbnail, even though the title is probably appearing bearish because it's a lower price than what it currently is. Put Meditator Steve there because what can we do about it? You don't have the liquidity to move the market, and neither do I. If I had the liquidity to move the market, I'll pump the boys' bags. We'll go to $1 tomorrow. I don't have the liquidity to do that, so I just have to accept the conditions as they are. So there's no point fighting conditions. There's no point being upset by the conditions. Let's just observe the conditions and how can we capitalize on it as little fish? How can we swim with the big whales? So, all right, let's get into the chart. Let's get into the analysis. First of all, the chart. So I've just been scribbling around today with some of these new things. So again, like it's not always directly bonded. This is the thing. So when you look here with Pulse and you look here with Atropa to the US dollar, they're pretty much moving very much in sync, with the exception of very recently. So very recently, we've had some green candles, which are now starting to turn red for Pulse Chain, but it's just been red for Atropa. So the bonding is not always completely 100%. There'll always be like, there always seems to be Pulse Chain leading the way for the pump. But then, yeah, Pulse Chain definitely seems to lead the way for the pump. Oh, no, not necessarily actually. Yeah, so it's difficult to read. It's not supposed to be easy, is it? If the market makers made it so easy, then everybody can just front run them, and they don't really want that. So what I wanted to quickly show here is this relationship that I've never really sort of shown this direct correlation. So here, this is legal to down, and you can see obviously down is going down. Down. It's going. The price chart is going down towards down, which means that legal is weaker than down. So in other words, down has the strength. Then we see all this volume around this region here, which has basically happened from middle of December to now. Lots of sell pressure from legal into down. And then we're also seeing the same thing with down to Atropa. So it's legal's flowing into down, but then down is flowing into Atropa, as we can see here. But then Atropa is flowing into pDAI, so it's trending down. But then, hang on a minute, pDAI is also going down. This makes no sense. Why is this happening? Shouldn't pDAI be going up if Atropa is going down? So now, one of the interesting things, somebody told me to put RSIs, and to be perfectly honest, some of these charts is probably not really all that valid, but with this particular chart, maybe it has some validity. But the reason why I don't really like RSIs, it's like, oh, cool. You know, here's the all-time high. Look how overheated it is. And then you've just sold like a nothing top, and then it comes down, and then it breaks back out again. Oh, no. This is the all-time high. And then it comes back down, and then, oh, no, actually, no. This is the all-time high. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the RSI. Some people love it. I'm not saying that I hate it. I just don't, I don't know, like, so what? There's lots of ways of looking at the same thing in different kinds of ways, and the RSI is just one particular way. A lot of people do like it, but you know, I'll kind of add it in here temporarily just to see how it is. And the reason why I don't like RSI is because it completely sucks balls when you use it in Forex. So Forex RSI is the most scam, dog shit, trash indicator that every single YouTube channel tells you to use. And if you use RSI on Forex, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. They want you to use RSI. Everybody's teaching you to use RSI, so you'll get destroyed. In crypto, it's a little bit different. It works a lot better in crypto because the markets aren't as manipulated as heavily as they are with Forex. But yeah, so I'll keep it in here temporarily. So if we do look at the RSI, it doesn't look like we've really, I mean, if we look at these two bottoms here, is this the bottom? I mean, it's only down to 43 on, this is on a 3-day. So again, it really depends how you look at it. You could look at it on the daily or the 3-day or the weekly. On the 3-day, it looks reasonably accurate at picking the bottoms. So it's very, very close to pick the bottoms here. So is this a bottom? I don't particularly know. But one thing that I found extremely interesting and I was, in a way, really quite pleased with was this idea of when I had it on the 3-day, the Moon King analysis. So what I was talking about was I had these. So this is now DAI to the DAI chart. So this is pDAI to actual stablecoin DAI. And I was talking about, so I've got it on Heiken-Ashi. It'll be clearer like this, that when these this candle broke out, I don't really look at this sort of stuff. I'm not really like an expert at this, but this is like a doji, a reversed or like a bearish doji or like a doji top. And then it broke through very heavily through this little region here where I was showing, okay, it's uptrending, we're looking bullish, but if I follow the Moon King style of analysis, it needs to reject this, it needs to bounce off this. But what did it do? It broke through, and not only did it break through, it broke through quite substantially, and it smashed all the way down to 8 cents. Now again, it's broken through the 1 cent mark, so it's dipped down 1, 2, 3 times, now the 4th time. And so if this closes below the 1 cent mark, I would honestly say that we're probably going to head lower. And this is not something that it's like, you know, don't take my advice for it. And I'm not saying that I'm correct or anything, but just the way the chart looks, this looks bearish. And all this happened was because of pump tires. So this was when pump tires was launched right here, like right at the beginning of February. So basically these candles all came on pump tires. So this was all pump tires' fault basically. So pump tires did this. So it's all pump tires' fault. Otherwise we were heading bullish, but now the liquidity is flowing through pump tires. So for me, honestly speaking, this looks bearish. And if the candle closes below the 1 cent mark, then I would say that it's going to continue to go lower. How do you choose to look at that? Do you look at that and go, oh no, like if you were mega euphoric and bullish up here at 3 cents and you were buying at 3 cents and you're like, yeah, we're going to go to $1, you should be licking your lips down here. When it's below, anything below 1 cent is like, what an extremely amazing, awesome opportunity for anything below 1 cent, because anything below 1 cent is 100x to $1. If we get to the dollar and it peaks to $1, you've just got the easiest 100x you can possibly get in all of cryptocurrency. Has a clear target, has a clear goal, has clear fundamentals which are backing the idea that it can peg to $1. It has all this speculation and hype around it. It's one of the best narratives in all of cryptocurrency. Even buying it is supporting the narrative. That's the beauty of it. So for me, I don't look at this like it's a bad thing. I look at this like amazing, grateful. This is probably going to be the very last time that we're ever going to have. I thought it was going to be here. I thought this was going to be our breakout, but then pump tires threw a spanner in the works, and this is just what happened. So anything below 1 cent, in my opinion, is an absolute gift. But if all the liquidity flows, as I've shown here, it's going from legal to down to Atropa to pDAI, then why is pDAI not going up? Then if this is the stable DAI, what's actually happening here? So then I want to look at the liquidity pools. So then I go to liquiditypoolsversal.app and we see, okay, who can peg it to $1? RH can. That's who can peg it to $1. That's the very first. That's the very first liquidity pool. 5 billion. Isn't there speculation that Richard Hart has $5 billion of pDAI? So this is, look, I mean, you know, some people absolutely lose their shit over this sort of speculative stuff. I don't. I'm a man of, I'm left-brained and right-brained. I'm extremely logical, but I'm also extremely in my feels. I follow the synchronicities, I follow the signs, and to this day, it's never led me astray. And my life is much, 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 much more profound than I could have ever imagined at this particular point in time. So, yeah, I look at these things and I'm just like, that's a cute little sign for me. So now, yes, so we got to take away that 5 billion, because that 5 the total liquidity, we got to take away that 5 billion. It doesn't really mean anything. So in other words, we've only really got 154 million in the liquidity. And of that, basically half of that is with the Atropa token. And so therefore, if Atropa is going down, pDAI is going down. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to this liquidity pool. This to me is also just FYI. $1 stablecoin, 2. This ratio is like 1 to 1.5 at the minute. It has hovered around the 2 mark. The 1 to 2. I don't know. Could be something to definitely keep an eye on. Then we've got UFO, Pulse Chain, Wrap, Bitcoin, USDC, Atropa. So Atropa, Teddy Bear, they're all going to kind of move up and down. All these things are moving up and down together. So where is it actually going? And for me, I'm thinking this is going to be the clue here, the stable coin. So I wanted to investigate further the stable coins because Atropa is not necessarily going, pDAI is not necessarily going down against Pulse Chain, but against DAI, it was going down. Against the US dollar, it is going down. And then I had the idea of actually looking here. So on PulseX, looking at the stable LP, and this is where I believe I found the clue that it's all being accumulated in stable coins at the minute. So from 20th of January here, so our the top of the stables here was 21st or 22nd of December. So I haven't actually done this. So let's just have a look at what's happening. Let's have a look at what happened in pDAI from the 22nd of December. So the 22nd of December. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. So this is basically where we had this gigantic fat drop, where we had the interpol FUD. It all flowed into stable coins. It all flowed, well, a lot of it flowed into stable coins, a stable LP. Now we've been trending down ever since then. So it's gone up, it's come down, so it's gone up from here. So where's this? The 10th of January. And what's this top? The 25th of January. Let's see if this is going to give us any clues. So basically from that top, it's just trended down. And then basically 20th to, basically from around about the 20th of January, it started to flow back in and in very extreme ways from the 6th of February to the 14th of February. So this is from, really the last few, really these last few days. So while it's been hovering at this 1 cent, people have been accumulating into stable coins. Now, if we were going to break the 1 cent mark and it was bull mode, don't you think that this number would be going down, not up? But in actuality, it's been hovering at 1 cent since about the 5th or 6th of February, and we've been hovering around the 1 cent mark since then, but it's just been going up. So it's almost like liquidity is flowing here, through here, making its way through the Atropa ecosystem, through the web, into pDAI and into the stable LPs. That's exactly what it looks like to me, and this is the evidence here. So how can we use this to determine some kind of a path to take? If we were to see something like this, some kind of major dip in the stable LP, then I would say, all right, it's go time. Because here, the 22nd, the 22nd. So the top, it just went all the way up there. So the 22nd, and then it radically reversed on the 23rd. So let's take this to the daily because it's on the 3-day at the moment. So the 22nd. The 22nd. So the 22nd. See, that's interesting. Okay, so the 22nd, this really pumped, but that could have just been a pump from like it could have been a pump that came from the Atropa ecosystem that pumped up pDAI up heaps on the 22nd, and then this was like the region, the 1.5 cent region, the 1.5 to 1.7 cent region, where now the market makers have really started to take that liquidity and put it into stables. This is what we saw all the way down to here, and then the reversal, which ended up happening. So it kept accumulating into here, and then this radical reversal here, 6th of February. So to me, it's very, 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 very clear that the market makers are doing something in this region. So look at this price. Look at these candles. goodness me. I mean, can it get any more obvious? I mean, it's really like, what are the market makers doing here? What are they doing? They're accumulating stable coins. Why are they accumulating stable coins? What are they planning to do? I don't know. I'm not too sure. So this is the interesting thing. But the fact that, oh, yeah, I mean, if this candle closes, so now on the daily, if this candle, I mean, the candle closed below here, but then it broke up, it closed below here, and it opened below 1 cent. And now if it closes below 1 cent, then I think that that's pretty, I'm pretty confident that that's going to be bearish. And if we also see that this number continues to go up, I mean, this is, okay, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's 2 million up to 3.5 million. When you really think about the actual liquidity in the system, 57 million, half of the equity, because you've got to take out 5 billion and 50 million from this. So really only 100 million. Out of that 100 million, 50 million, half of it is like sort of, I'll say nothing burger because it's in the Atropa ecosystem. So if the DAI stable pool is 500,000, then for me, this was probably like, it wouldn't surprise me if this was like 1 million or 500,000, maybe, sorry, 1 million or 1.5 million, maybe a few weeks ago when it was sitting up at 1.5 cent region. So very, very interesting for me. And then this still continues to look like accumulation into the stable LPs. So this is going to definitely be something that I'll be keeping my eye on. This to me is something that I just discovered while I was putting this episode together. And for me, I feel like again, that's some dope liquidity flow alpha. So I'm actually like very, very happy with myself for finding that one. So not going to lie. So yeah, once I see some kind of major reversal here, if we see some, like after a day or two, like a massive reversal swing like this, then it'll be like, okay, maybe then the stables are getting deployed, and then we're going to start seeing the stables get deployed into pDAI. Now, where this starts to get quite tricky as well is, what was this particular chart? This is also another way of looking at it. So this is, again, it's getting harder and harder to read, but this was like a time cycle chart that I showed the other day, and I thought, wow, this is actually like a really, 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 really exceptionally, like, it's pretty goddamn accurate, to be perfectly honest. Like, you just extrapolate it from, I mean, I wonder if it's just to this line, it's like, holy crap, like, you know, up, down, more, or kind of sort of up, sideways, up, and then more sideways, up. What's going to happen here? Is this going to be like sideways down and then a send off? I don't know. I don't think it's going to last that long. Maybe we could just see like some sort of like capitulation thing down here, and then it sends, and then it's bullish after that. I'm not too sure. But for me, this is like, yeah, for me, there's a pretty strong probability that it goes between the 0.5 cent region and the 0.8 cent region. So this is like a dream come true for the true believers. If you're a true believer, not just when price is going up, then this is a dream come true. So I wanted to also then compare this to pump tires. What I have found, which to my, well, not to my frustration, you've just got to adapt with the conditions. It seems like before there was an inverse correlation, but it seems like now they're locked. The correlation is locked together. So what does this actually mean? So what it actually means is this can pump with just pumping pDAI. Just pumping pDAI is gonna push all the charts up and to the right. It's gonna push most up and to the right, because now there's kind of been this, you can see this kind of sideways action here, sideways action here. And again, it used to be inversely related, but now, so these are both on the daily, unfortunately, they're very related. They're very correlated. So this means that the opportunities for trading inverse to these, so for example, if this started to pump and this started to dump, it's like, awesome, you can get a pump out of this, take some profits into there, and then rotate it into pDAI. But it doesn't look like we're going to get that, which kind of really sucks, to be perfectly honest. I mean, maybe we will see it. I don't know. But it kind of really sucks. Maybe we'll see it for like a day or two, but I would like to have seen it for like a long period of time. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It really looks like maybe they're going to get liquidity. It really looks like maybe they're going to move in lockstep with each other, which yeah, kind of sucks. So anyway, that's all the pDAI stuff. So yeah, pDAI is really pushing the whole blockchain forward. So if you're an accumulator, I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating. To me, the chart looks bearish. It could just be this. It could just be that this accumulation into stables is happening here around the 1 cent, and they're protecting the 1 cent region, and they don't want it to fall too low. It could be that. I have no idea. But chart wise, it looks bearish. That's just my opinion. So, but again, due to this this cycles thing that I've been showing, which seems extremely accurate, this bearishness might only last like a few days. Maybe then we start to take off, really sort of heading towards the end of February, start of March. So who knows? You know, we're really entering into the parabolic season of the bull market. So, all right. So what's going on? Hexucation, what's going on, Clifford? Puffy, what's going on, my man? Good evening, Hexamigo. Hopefully it's not too hot. It's bloody hot here in Brisbane today. Humid AF. So I still believe live, love, laugh. Live, laugh, love. I still believe pDAI to the moon also. I'm still holding on to that hope. So year to sink. What's going on, Matt? How are you, brother? Richard, good day, man. Send people to the GitHub and get them to run the software themselves. Send people to the GitHub and get them to run the software themselves. Which software, Richard? Which software are you talking about for the GitHub? Howdy all. Do we know what's happened to decentralize me and that apparent? And one of his recent posts was that it kicks off tomorrow. Seen nothing since and seen no advertising. So, I mean, it's only I think I saw like maybe like a day ago, possibly. I wouldn't be too concerned. I saw like they were just getting it started as of like 2 days ago, and I mean, if they're just getting it started, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to immediately begin. It means, I mean, it kind of means they're going to get to work. So yeah, that was kind of my understanding. I could be wrong, but that was my understanding, that they're starting as of 3 days ago, which means that now they're going to start putting content together, and obviously that's going to take some time. It's not something that you can just do in one day, I would imagine. So, so just double check if there is any, marketing updates day one. So that was on the 11th of February. So yeah, let's give them some time to actually produce some content. So, so what they're going to do is, why every trader needs to check Pulse Chain, PulseX, the DEX changing game. Did you just get free crypto? Statistics posts. What is Pulse Chain? Is there any kind of like, did he include some kind of time frame here? By hook or crook? I might ask for, hello, sir. Is there a time frame for deliverables? Just out of curiosity. Yeah. So, if they're going to be putting this stuff together, might take a week for them to put the content together. So I've asked this before, but I'm not sure you read it. What do you think about PUSDT? Do you think it will peg one day in the future? Yeah. I mean, Maria's always spoken about P stables. So he always has mentioned the 3 stables. Obviously, MakerDAO is with USDC and pDAI. So the PUSDT doesn't come into that, but I have hypothesized that if there's a stable LP for actual stable coins, I'm hypothesizing that one day there's going to be a P stable LP also. So all the P stables will get put together in some, because basically what this does is this basically helps strengthen the peg between these assets by putting them into an LP. And this LP, I mean, it's decent. You get, I think you get like 12% yield. That's exceptional for a stable coin. If you're a finance guy with billions of dollars or millions of dollars, you don't need to take risks. You're happy with 5% a year. This is 12%. This is quite exceptional. So I'm expecting one day that there's probably going to be a P stable function here as well, which is going to help stabilize the peg between PUSDC, pDAI, and POSDT. The problem is, if you look at the holding patterns with POSDT, there's a lot more of the tokens spread out to lots of holders, whereas pDAI and POSDT, there's a lot of the opportunity with POSDT, but for me, yeah, like it's a good opportunity, I think, if you believe in it, but it's also a risk. So here, this is like what's this? I think there's 20 million pDAI, so this is just on the 25%, between 20-25% in liquidity, which is not too bad. Obviously, that number going up would be exceptional, but it is what it is. So, yeah. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but I wonder if I was just kind of thinking, I wonder if this was meant to be like, I wonder if this has ever fluctuated, but I wonder if it was supposed to be like 369 or something. It's kind of close to 369, but not quite. But hi, Matt. No updates since last about what topics to talk about. If the mark, okay, gotcha, Richard. Richard, thanks for that. Maria doesn't seem to be a fan of pump tires. Did Maria say pump tires was poop? I'm not sure. I haven't seen that. Maybe he has. I'm not too sure. I was on a call today and was told that a few people with significant pDAI holdings lost confidence with RH. With RH released the pump tires meme. Well, Hexy G, yeah, there's a lot of it's the same. One thing that I truly fundamentally believe in is you have to go with the flow. You have to change and adapt your mind to the market. And so what does that tell me? That just tells me that there's people who went all in with pDAI, and now this move has screwed up, or it's perceived to have screwed up their position. So it's basically, you've got the maxis who only wanted everybody to buy Richard Hart core coins. That didn't come to fruition on Pulse Chain. So then we had the pDAI narrative. And now you'll probably have pDAI maxis who are saying, well, we want everybody only to get pDAI because pDAI should go to $1. And then now pump tires has come out, and then it's that same mindset that existed here. It's now taken hold here. And so this is just how the mind is. So just maintaining flexibility is really the most important thing. And probably the lack of flexibility comes with over capitalizing in a particular system. That's just how I view it. I could be completely wrong, could be completely off, and I hope I haven't offended anyone by saying that. But I'm always advocating for a mind of fluidity, a mind that accepts the conditions of the world rather than fights against them. So this is what the market is delivering. This is what Richard is delivering. This is what's actually happening on the chain. So do I fight it, or do I accept it and go with the flow? Acceptance is king. Acceptance is the greatest mind of all. So I'll always choose acceptance. Below 1 cent is a gift. Bro, anything below 1 cent is like a gigantic gift. I mean, it's over 100x. So with the many hours and all the scrolling I do on X and YouTube, I don't see an ad. I think there is no campaign. So don't forget I mean, we don't know where the campaign's going to be going to. Could be Twitter, could be Facebook. I'm not too sure. I think he has put out like where the marketing was going to go to in previous tweets. But yes, you're right. I haven't actually seen anything on Twitter either. So was that a tweet there? So the first month of 160 hours of professional marketing for Pulse Chain kicks off tomorrow. I was hoping to provide two options for everyone to vote. So the first month's objectives are to launch a multi-channel user acquisition campaign to boost user engagement, define and refine the strategies. So shilling, so targeting ERC20 sub-communities across X, Discord, and Telegram, social media marketing. So yeah, it'll take time, man. Like if it just started on the 11th, it means that now we've engaged them, we're paying them, and get to work. It's like if somebody wants me to draw architectural plans and I start on the 11th, I'm not going to have it finished by the 12th. it normally takes weeks to actually produce anything. So I'm not saying it's going to take weeks, but yeah, I wouldn't be too worried, Matt. The pDAI meme could be a clever play from RH to get rid of any non-believers before the peg. That's a good point. That's a good point, HexyG. That's a really interesting point, actually. Yeah, if the pDAI, if the meme die outperforms the pDAI, you might get pDAI people chasing the meme die, and that's going to really, that'll be very interesting. I would love to see something like that. I also honestly think that the meme die will hit $1 first before the pDAI, because it doesn't need as much liquidity to get it there. So I think it'll be like another like cheeky little signal to the market, like, hey, we can actually get to $1, and this is the evidence here. Even though the liquidities, I mean the circulating supply is 1/20th of pDAI, but still, I think it's definitely actually no. Is it $1 billion? Yeah, it's $1 billion. So what if RH is still collecting pDAI before? I mean, exactly. So market makers, RH, whoever it is, the smart people who are basically moving things on the chain. Some people who use Heiken-Ashi also use stochastic instead of RSI. Oh, Hexamigo. All right. Thanks for that tip. Let's actually have a cheeky little look. Stochastic. So yeah, and I think I'm maybe stochastic or stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI looks smoother. All right, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'll tweak the settings. I mean, this comes from like me measuring and like thousands of indicators, but hundreds of indicators with Forex, and I stay very clear from the mainstream ones. But with crypto, all the mainstream ones really work. But I kind of like naked charts. So they look for a reverse doji and 2 confirmation candles with long wicks. Okay, all right. So like, let's see if we can find an example of that. So with Heiken-Ashi, yeah, something like this. To a reverse doji and 2 confirmation candles with long wicks. Okay, probably not something like this. But yeah, this is on the 3-day. Anyways, man, I appreciate that. I'll definitely look into that. So thanks for the advice. I appreciate that. Great catch on the state. Yeah, puffy. I thought it was pretty good. So I'll be keeping my eye on that to see where this reversal could potentially come. So I'm all for pDAI and Atropa, but having RH dumping a massive bag on your head is not positive. One up. I mean, you don't know that it's RH dumping. There's thousands of holders of pDAI. There's not much liquidity, bro. There's not much liquidity. So it doesn't take a lot to dump it. That's the thing. This is really one of the things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't take a lot to move it. Put it that way. It really doesn't take a lot. So, I mean, if you imagine, gosh, I mean, how much pDAI would like Moon King have? I mean, there's guys who bought like 40 million pDAI for like $500. They're sitting on some big bags. They don't need to sell much to really, they can move the charts very, very, very easily. So what's going on is perhaps they are waiting for a big dump. Could more people be in stables due to the recent inflation changes with ink though? That's also definitely, of course, that's also a possibility. That's also a very this is just like a sign. It's like not what is it? Not correlation or causation. Like it's correlation, not causation. So it might be from this. It might be from the ink. It might be from the recent pump in pulse chain, but it just seems like it really aligns quite heavily with the sideways action at the 1 cent mark. That's all I'm saying. That's all it really looks like. So what are the market makers gearing up to do? So I think crypto is waiting for a major correction, regular markets, something like the COVID, some sort of black swan event. Possibly. What's up, TS Pedro? We will look back on this and realize pump tires was a rouse to get everyone out of pDAI and Atropa coins. Most of them pump will do well, and that's basically it. I think all of those will do well. I think they'll all those RH ones will do well. So, all right, I'm gonna So good morning, good evening, everybody. So I'm going to just whiz through some of these because I don't want it to be too late tonight because I have an early morning tomorrow. So Dinosauria, so this marketing campaign is not just about pDAI. This marketing campaign is about Pulse Chain. So I don't know if there'll be some sort of direct on ramp into pDAI. So yeah, no problems, Matt. RH is very smart. His every move is calculated. He's perfect at timing. If he's a millionaire, it's because he knew what he was doing. Follow people who've succeeded like Richard R. I agree, Zymus, and I think he's more than a millionaire. So definitely worth following. So yes, no more Black Swan. So okay, that pretty much concludes the pDAI stuff. I now just want to show. So someone was asking about the PUSDT. So obviously I'm in the XUSD team and I love XUSD. So you can see there's a crap load of volume in all of this while we're still in the distribution phase. So as a ratio swap, XUSD is supposed to also head to $1. That's XUSD's target, $1. At the moment, it's continuing to go down. It's trending down. Why? Because we're in the distribution phase. So each week, tokens are being distributed out to liquidity providers into the vaults. Well, percentages are being distributed out to into vaults and different kinds of wallets. So this is going to happen for several more weeks. So I definitely think that this is an extremely, extremely good opportunity for me. There's a bit of hiccups with a few things, but the team is working very, very hard to, like, everything's almost just like I like this style of doing where it's just like, let's get it out there and let's iterate it as we go. So there's been some big updates on the website now with the trading. So there's the Vibe Pass, which just got updated recently. And I would, this is looking a bit, it's not supposed, because of bloody dark mode. Turn dark mode off. So with the vibes, so this, for me, the Vibe Pass this is the key piece of alpha with XUSD, getting a Vibe Pass, and with the logic that XUSD is not supposed to stay pegged to $1. It's supposed to hover around. So the way that I'm looking at it is XUSD actually is going to provide a support for all the stable coins as well. And so when the other stable coins might shift out of whack, XUSD is also going to shift out of whack. But because they're liquidity bonded, this has a burn and a mint function. So then if it falls below the dollar mark, so let's have a look here. So for example, we're going to project into the future. And so ignore these dates. I'm just showing that it's hovering around here. So when it falls below here, what they can do is they can burn the supply to get it back to $1. And then if it goes too high over $1, then they can burn the tokens. And what does this actually do? The people with the Vibe Pass are going to get the supply of the minted tokens. So at the moment, this is the percentage of people compared to the total burn supply who have Vibe Passes. So there's only 77 Vibe Pass holders. So there's been 120 million XUSD that's been burnt, and only 11.86 million of Vibe Pass holders who have done that burning. So what's that in percentage wise? Like 8% or something like this. But when the burning and the minting happens in the future at the $1 peg, the Vibe Pass holders get all of that. So all the trading that happens, there's burns with every single trade. So this is the logic of XUSD. But if it's liquidity bonded and it stays around and hovers around the dollar mark just through burning and minting, then the Vibe Pass holders are just going to stack coins heavily. They're really going to stack coins heavily. And yeah, you want people who are protective of the system, the people who aren't going to like dump it. So you want basically like the devs, the people who have created the system to have the lion's share of the token supply, because they're going to want it to stay at $1. They're not going to need to sell it. They're not going to want to dump it. That's what you want to see for a project like this. So this is one of the reasons why I became extremely, extremely bullish on XUSD. So there is a video that I've done for the Vibe Pass. I would definitely recommend going to check that out. That was with Surfacing and Katie. So now we're going to do the trading. They've also recently updated the trading website. So I'm going to do a stream with the team, but I'm in love with this trading dashboard update. So it just looks gorgeous. So I'm extremely happy with it. So basically it's a lot clearer now. So here you can see before the numbers were like a little bit confusing and it was a little bit ugly and a lot of stuff at the top that you didn't really need to see. This is just gorgeous. I'm like 10 out of 10 to the designers of this, like honestly 10 out of 10. So you can go into the info and you'll see that there's 156,000 max rewards in this, but there's still 30,000 available rewards for this particular pool. And then all of these, there's no available rewards left. So there's 80,400 and there's no available rewards left. So what this is actually doing while it's being distributed, a lot of people are accumulating the rewards in the epoch. So what happened there? What the hell? What the hell? I must have clicked on something. Wow. All right. Okay. So then maybe they're going to show it. Oh, wow. Righto. I didn't even know that. There you go. So, because I only just checked this today. So, yeah. And in terms of like, I mean, there's a lot of volume at the moment, but in terms of liquidity providing positions as well. So just FYI, 53% LP rewards for the Pulse Chain and XUSD pool and 25% in the XUSD and DAI pool. That's really good. So again, if I'm looking at this as like a future stable coin, I mean, at the moment, you could look at this as a ratio opportunity where you can swap your pDAI for, I mean, really at the minute, what is it? If I can open this up, hopefully it won't wig out, but what is it at the minute? So it's like like 8-to-1 or something. No, sorry. It'd be like a 4.5-to-1, something like this. So for every one pDAI, you'll be able to get 4.5 XUSD. So for me, this is an exceptional ratio swap opportunity, but also as a liquidity providing opportunity as well, because it's 20%, which is really good. So if they end up being $1, if it ends up being $1, it's going back to this, right? So this is earning what was it, 12% yield, and these are all $1. So you're going to get impermanent loss, but it's not going to matter which side of the coin you're going to get, because if they both go to $1, then it doesn't matter which side of the coin you got. So that's why for me this is like an exceptional opportunity, and it's got 25% yield. So if you're looking for like a future stable coin liquidity providing opportunity, this is I haven't looked at all of them, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the best. So I haven't looked, say for example, at pDAI and PUSDC. I'm pretty sure I've looked at them, and I don't think that they were as good as this. As a matter of fact, yeah, let's just have a quick look at what they are. So pDAI and PUSDC. Let's have a look what they are, and USDT as well. I used to have all of this set up on. Just give it to me here. Actually, I might not do that for this one because I really do have to go to bed. I might just leave it as it is because already it's starting to be a lame-o. Okay, yeah. I mean, I would recommend for you guys to check that sort of stuff out. So let's go through the comments and I'll wrap this up. So, Steve-O, try to use MACD on pDAI, 1-day time frame. See the turning moments. So yeah, it's not like. Okay, I mean, I'll just have a look at it just out of curiosity as well. Where was my pDAI chart here? So MACD. It's not like. It's just that, like on this RSI. So this is on the daily. Where's your bottom? Where's your bottom on the daily? It's like there's a bottom, there's a bottom, there's a bottom, there's a bottom. Like there's so many bottoms. It's to me, it's useless on the daily. On the 3-day, it's definitely a lot better. It's definitely a lot better. What about on the weekly? I mean, yeah, I mean, is it anything on the weekly? But here's the thing. I mean, it could be something on the weekly because, I mean, even look at this on the weekly. It looks pretty bearish on the weekly. I mean, we had a good run. We had a good run. I mean, this was a good few weeks. So it's okay. It's okay for it to go down. So what was it? The MACD. I like simplicity. And as soon as I start adding these things, it creates noise for the way that I'm looking at the chart. So again, I'm not like some sort of oracle or anything, but the fact that I was able to pick the top twice on the day, and then I donated $27.70 to charity, and I also have the world's largest 3D printed diamond, it says a lot. So, and that was without any of these indicators. So I'm very confident with how I'm looking at the charts now. So adding this stuff, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this. If that helps you determine how it is, I'm gonna keep an eye on these things since you've suggested it. Live, laugh, love. I'll just have a look. I'll test it over the next few days. But for me, I like just the simplicity, and then I can get a feel for the market, the sentiment, the liquidity flows. That tells me a lot more than what the indicators do. So, but definitely, I mean, see, even this, like well, yeah, I guess here you go. Yeah, I mean, you started to see a downturn, didn't you? But then, well, then, yeah, you also saw a downturn here as well. Okay, all right, that's pretty decent. And then you start to see the charts like, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, MACD. All right, I like that. That actually looks pretty good. So, yeah, here it's kind of saying well, I mean, yeah, I'll have to sort of get accustomed to it, I think. But yeah, okay, thanks for that suggestion. I appreciate it. Bro, what's the contract address for XUSD? It is I think it might be in the description, possibly in my YouTube description. But you're on Twitter. It is copy XUSD address. No, you've got the, I don't know what the, oh yeah, you've got the correct one there. You've got the correct one. That's it, man. Good job. You've got the right one. Well, yep. So Zymus, that's a correct XUSD. What do you feel about Anders' other crypto project? I think it's fantastic. I haven't looked into it enough. So that's Love.io. I think as a concept, it's effing brilliant. Anders is a highly successful entrepreneur. So the fact that he's also affiliated with this gave me a lot of confidence in it, because it's not just someone that, it's not just someone that hasn't succeeded at something. It's like, why are we in Pulse Chain? Because Richard Hart is, well, he's a winner. We know he's a winner. And Anders is also a winner. So yes, I haven't had any huge deep dive looks into Love.io, but I would recommend going to check out the conversation that I had with Anders. So if you just look up on my channel, maybe Love.io or Anders, conversation with XUSD, Anders, something like this. I actually really, really love the concept of Love.io. So I love anything that's going to start to outbound into the world. So what trading site is that? Are you talking about the XUSD one? That's X-USD. This is the XUSD portal. So they've now just updated it with all the XUSD stuff. So yeah. So also, everybody, actually, you know what? This is a concept that I may as well start to introduce the concept now, because I want to start planting the seeds in everybody's mind. So one of the things that I want to do on this channel is be a voice for community. So coexisting Steven. So Blind Bit Boys. So Yi to Sync here. Blind Bit Boys. This is his website, and what he's trying to do is, this website is designed. Where's all the? I haven't actually looked at your website, bro, to be honest, but I absolutely freaking love the logo. I think the logo is like just such a dope ass logo. Search for a coin. So the whole point of, so for example, okay, so Blind Bit Boys, this is Yi to Sync's website. So he is advocating for trying to onboard blind people into cryptocurrency. So one of the things that he's trying to do is he's looking for a platform where he can actually start to get people to care enough for his project that we can start to basically, quote unquote, raid someone like Dex Screener so that they can incorporate onto their website some option, some kind of option, so that blind people can read charts, because blind people obviously can't read the charts. So how do they know when to sell, when to buy, indicators, things like this? They have screen readers, but there's no screen readers for trading charts like Dex Screener. But he by himself, just emailing them is not enough. Obviously, the more voices you have, the more momentum you're going to get, the more chance you're going to have for them to actually do it. So he actually has all the code for it. He's got it all in GitHub. It's all there for how they can actually do it. But now he just needs a community to help him to do it. So what I want to do on this channel is basically start to provide a platform for people that want to build their communities to come on here and to share and grow each other. Like grow each other's communities. So for example, the coexist token, I nuked that for safety reasons. It was nuked for safety reasons. All my wallets, my public wallets, were getting they were just getting too big. And I was like, this is like a safety concern. I'm probably pretty easy to find. So I need to, I don't want people to know how much crypto I have, put it that way. So I nuked my donation address. I nuked my coexist token, but I've put all of it in LP now. So one of the things that I was thinking with coexist, hang on a second. Yes, press the like button. Give me 1 second. Just need to get the... All right. Yeah, exactly. The more eyes on XUSD, the more eyes on T-bill. The other stables will be a rush once pDAI gets a few X's higher. The way that I'm looking at this blockchain now is I'm not looking at it as just pDAI. I'm looking at like a system of P stables all across the blockchain that together are helping each other keep an equilibrium. And so the Atropa ecosystem is providing like a what's the like a derivatives market for the entire Pulse chain, like a liquidity derivatives market for all of Pulse chain. And then the P stables can stay pegged with all this like fake liquidity that's backing the whole entire system, and T-bill and XUSD and pDAI and all the P stables will help maintain each other a balance. And then with the whole like financial system behind it, that's what I'm seeing that's emerging on Pulse chain. So for me, anything that's like the best deal is amazing. Obviously, the whole narrative is with pDAI, and that's the one that I have the most confidence in because it has the P maker, but I'm also seeing the potential for that. So one of the things that I thought would be a really cool idea, so this is coexist, and I didn't do this. Don't go and buy this. I didn't do this as a token to buy. I did this as a token to see as an experiment, can I create my own bank? That's what I was trying to do with this token. So I started to make these videos, and then people started to get real shitty, and they're like, oh, you've turned into that kind of an influencer. And I'm like, no, you're missing the point. I don't want you to buy this token, God damn it. I want to show you a way that you can actually create your own bank by basically putting all your tokens in liquidity. Because as soon as you put them in liquidity with a token that you create, you've just doubled your liquidity. And now you've got this extra liquidity that you can leverage against. And so therefore, if you have like a tax token that's also generating yield with a liquidity web, the idea is that you're getting like for instance, this was pDAI. So ended up getting like, I think it was like a few 100,000 pDAI out of this, or something like that. With the amount of tokens that I had, I could have bought more pDAI, but I still wanted all those tokens. And so I put it in liquidity with coexist. Then the movements of the market ended up generating like yield into the coexist wallet. And so that wallet generated all the yield because it owns over 90% of the supply. And the rest of the supply was in liquidity, and then some small buyers. And then so what did I do? I nuked it. So you can see like this big candle here. And so people, I mean, I don't I guess, I mean, people bought it, but I mean, you should have looked at the holder patterns, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if you bought a token where someone's got 90% of the supply, I mean, it's kind of on you, to be perfectly honest. So I think basically maybe either from here I started selling. I don't know. I'm not too sure. So, but anyway, the whole point, long story short, is now there's all these tokens in liquidity. There's about 7K in liquidity. And what I want to do is I want to burn the supply. And then each week, or maybe once a month or something like this, I want to basically bring someone from the community, from the outside community, and then what I want to try to do is build an idea. So maybe I could have like maybe I control maybe just one of the liquidity pools in Coexist and the rest get burnt, maybe with my Lao token, for example. And let me just get like a circle here so I can show the kind of concept that I'm trying to do. Holy shit. All right, I really need to go in like 5 minutes. My sleeping patterns are the amount of euphoria and bliss that I've experienced with synchronicities this week is just like my brain just is explode. It's in exploding mode. Like I can't believe how blessed I am. I actually can't believe it. I can't believe that the universe has like given me this degree of blessings. I've been overwhelmed with gratitude for the whole week, like overwhelmed. I've been like just laughing, and it's just how are we so blessed to be in this blockchain? How is this even possible? So let's just say this is Coexist with all the liquidity pools. Obviously multiply this by, I think there's about 200 or nearly 200 or something like this. And then what I would like to do, I'll make this a what's it called? What are they? The flower of tree of flower, or whatever it is. See, I'm totally not like a typical spiritual dude. I'm like more of a, I'm like a rationalist / spiritualist. I'm like a, I don't know, what would you, I mean, that's really like what architects are, I suppose. So isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that just gorgeous? So oh no, I should have left it there. So anyway, what I want to do in the future is burn all this. And then this becomes, 3333 as I'm talking about this idea. Thank you. All right. Now, this becomes, let's say, BitBoy's crypto will be the first one. And instead of, he offered to donate me some money, but I don't want his money. I want him to build his project, but I want it to, what I would love is, okay, what about if instead of giving me the money, he buys the Coexist token and then he bonds his token with the Coexist token. So eventually, so we have this here. So I'm gonna represent this graphically. So now this is Blind BitBoys. And then next week we have, or the next month, we have somebody else, some other community that wants a platform. And again, it's a platform where it's not like if they have a token that they want to promote just naturally, it's like you don't have to pay me. You're like paying, we're pooling our money together into a community. And then now what ends up happening? So then let's say the next week it's, I don't know, deaf people. And then they can either buy Coexist token or buy Blind BitBoys, and then they burn the LP. So whoever does this buys it, bonds it with their token, and burns the LP. Buys it, bonds it with the token, burns the LP. So each week or each month, whatever it is, this coexistence concept is just continuously growing out, and we're leveraging off each other. So we're creating this liquidity web where we're all supporting each other. And of course, yeah, if people want to buy the tokens, they'll become like attractive tokens. Because, for example, like Coexist token will be basically 95 to 99% of burn LP. So it becomes like an extraordinarily attractive token to buy. You're getting it's a tax token. It's never ever going to get any lower than this. It's like in a way, it's like a Maria Rahel kind of a launch, but it's a very extended out Maria Rahel launch. A Maria Rahel launch is where it's just like dump, 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 dump. And then you buy up and it gets pulled up by the Atropa ecosystem. And you could see it. This is what it was doing. But I also did a lot of selling and bot sort of stuff here. So yeah, something along these lines, this kind of concept. I just thought that would be like such a dope concept of like just also bringing awareness. And then each week it's like, okay, well, it's about supporting each other as a community and presenting a perspective that's like, I'll say it, fuck all the pump and dump shit. Everybody's sick to fucking death of all the pump and dump shit. I'm sick to fucking death of it. I'm sick to fucking death of all the greed and the filth and the rot in cryptocurrency. So I'm going to try my hardest and pour every fiber of my being to try and create something with the platform that we have, which is Pulse Chain, that can actually provide a completely new narrative in cryptocurrency. Can we work together to grow together? That's always what I've been about. Coexistence. Work together, grow together, collaborate, not just shit on each other. You know, like it's sickening. Like these celebrities, they're so greedy. This Dave Portnoy, you know, and he comes out and he's like, oh, you know, what did you guys think I was going to do? I bought a meme coin, like I rugged it. You guys all rug it as well, or whatever he said. It's just like, haven't you got enough money? You know, what are you going to go do now? Oh, I'm going to go buy another Bugatti. I mean, fuck off. Like, I'm done with that world, man. I'm done with the greed. You know, what's his name? Bretep. Like, Apple, he did all this stuff, which has probably saved them like millions of dollars. And what do they give him? Just like a little one page, oh, thanks, Bretep. No payment, no nothing. Like the greed of the world, the rot of the world, we have to be the ones who change that with our actions. So can we change it with the actions of the blockchain? So yeah, I'm just going to introduce this idea. But yeah, support Blind BitBoys Crypto, because Matt Yedesink, he can't read these charts. They can't read charts. He's 100% blind. And they also deserve to be in crypto. They also deserve to be in this new financial system. Everybody deserves to be in this new financial system. So this is just a way for anyone to be able to create a token, and then they might not have a lot of liquidity themselves, but just by buying into this, you might start a token and you have 500 in liquidity, and then you have to buy $250 of coexistence. That's half your liquidity. But then 50% of your token is then going to move with the coexistence token. So it's going to be like heavily bonded with it. So it's going to really keep going up. And if you learn to build your own liquidity webs, like, I just think it will be such a cool concept, a very, very cool concept. So I'm going to leave it at that. I shouldn't have swore so much, but I'm, you know, like, people have this misconception. Maybe I am bad. It's a very bad habit to swear, but people have this misconception that he meditates. There must be like calm all the time. Like I'm calm most of the time, but it doesn't. I'm still human. I get fired up. It makes me sick. The rot and the greed of the world makes me sick. It makes me want to smash the wall because it's disgusting. The way humanity is at times, the way that we treat each other, the disregard for one another, just the blind self-centeredness. It's disgusting, and it's got to end. And now is the time where it's going to end. Now is the time where it is actually ending. So, but in any case, I shouldn't get as frustrated as I do. So finally, I'll just go through these comments. So it's like being in pDAI last year. Oh yeah, bro, exactly. XUSD, exactly. So XUSD and TB will help one another once pDAI and the other core. So we went through this comment before. Exactly, bro. So it's like being in pDAI last year. So XUSDT is another one of those opportunities. So maybe you should change the title to 5 cents, or sounds bearish. Ranza, there's a meditator on the front. It's like this channel. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, but that's actually where I genuinely think it's going. I'm not saying like it sounds bearish, but the chart looks bearish. I mean, I could be wrong. But for me, it's heading towards that region. So it's actually looking like it's heading towards that region. Doesn't mean that it's going to get there, but it looks like it's heading towards that region. So yeah, it sounds bearish. I apologize, but there's a meditator there, and people really need to start to take control of their emotions and not be so like impulsive when they see these sorts of things. Like if I just tell you about the objective reality of what's actually happening, then it shouldn't be considered as bearish or bullish. But I appreciate what you are saying. Hang on a minute. $0.05. I put 0.05 cents. So that's like, yeah, I'll update that. That's a good point. My apologies. No, you're dead right, Ranza. Yeah, that makes it sound like it's going down here, doesn't it? That makes it sound like it's going to lose a few zeros. Shit, what a noob. All right, no, good call, Ranza. I'll update the title and the thumbnail as well. So I sacked 7K into love, and it's now worth $50. In addition, the sacrifice user interface logins was removed from the website, so now there is no way to access those records. For the love. Yeah, I mean, look, I just don't know enough about love.io. I just don't know enough, but I think possibly like it was very heavily bonded with PulseX at the start, and I mean PulseX has just got destroyed, right? So uh, I'm I'm sure it's going to start to go up with the rest of Pulse Chain now. So salute to you, Ram. Time to ape some co. Okay, awesome. So all right, fam, I'm going to leave it at that. Everybody, you have a fantastic night or a fantastic Friday, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Everybody, take care.